Well, thank you for joining us for our 4G podcast. This is Marcy Kongkousonh, and my name is Pastor Brian. Dave Bennett tells me I always forget my name. I don't remember to say who I am. Over on the soundboard, the video camera, all that needs to be done on the tech world is Will Kabbalah. Will, thank you for your support and for doing this. You've been involved with this for a couple years now, so thank you very much. This is our 4G podcast, meaning that we give attention to gathering, growing, giving, and going with the gospel. And we wanted to tackle a topic that, well, frankly, Marcy, affects a lot of people, doesn't it?
Yep.
We're going to talk today about the whole area of dementia, Alzheimer's, and maybe some other things that I'm going to learn. Every time you speak about this, Marcy, I learn some new things. Marcy heads up our ministry on Sunday afternoons, the last Sunday of every month. We have an Alzheimer's support group. We'll be talking about that. But Marcy, I'm looking forward to learning some other things about this that can help us as we care, as we minister, as we witness. And for some of us, it's in our own families, right?
Right.
Yeah. So why don't we start? We start every podcast with this. How did you become a follower of Jesus?
I became a follower of Jesus at a young age. My parents were both Christian, went to a church, and grew up with my mom being a Sunday school teacher, VBS teacher, part of the women's Bible study, and she just took me along to all those things. And along the lines, something stuck. So I remember when I was 10 years old, a Sunday school teacher asked the kids to bow their head and close their eyes and raise your hand if you want to accept Jesus in your heart. And I remember having the internal struggle of, I know that I'm a Christian, but the teacher might not think that I want to become a Christian because he don't know I'm already a Christian, and I don't want him to think that I don't want Jesus. But
Sure.
then I realized, I am a Christian, and me and God are good, and that's all that matters. So I didn't put my hand up.
But you wrestled with that.
Yeah, I did.
You wanted to make sure, is this real? And you're
Right.
like, yes, it's real.
Yeah.
Oh, that's at 10 years old.
Around 10, yep.
That's fantastic. And you've kind of come full circle then. If your mom is very involved in ministry to children,
Yeah.
now that's what you're doing.
Right,
And
yeah.
all of that matters. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm married, been 20, what is it? It's 2025, right? So 26
is.
years.
26 years, okay.
And we have 2 adult kids, Abby and Micah, and working here and taking care of a mom with dementia.
Yeah, okay. The next question I wanted to ask you is, what led you to start this support group? Was it because of what you see happening with your mom?
Yeah, definitely. So my dad died in 2017, and then about 10 months later, my mom showed extreme signs of dementia. So I always thought dementia was just memory loss. And so we were seeing a little bit of that, but we thought it was her grief because they had been married for 60 years. And so, but then she started sharing some hallucinations she was seeing, and she thought they were real, and they were very disturbing to her. And so this, that was the beginning of just turning our world upside down.
So within the first year of your dad dying?
Within the first year.
Hallucinations, what else did you see? Some memory loss?
Some memory loss, and then changing of behavior. She was becoming suspicious, hiding things in the house, thinking that we were stealing from her, hiding meds in her drawer. So much so that when we were cleaning her house out later, we saw some meds shoved in the drawers and stuff, and I could chuckle then. But at the beginning, it was, who is this?
Yeah,
And
it'd be
it was
very unsettling.
Yeah, it was very hurtful.
Because you're trying to help her through her grief, and like, something else is going on here.
Right. And so the doctors didn't originally think dementia either, or Alzheimer's or anything like that. They felt like she had complicated grief, and if she didn't get it in check, she would go into dementia. So, but then when we went to counseling, they said she has dementia. So, I mean, there's a lot of frustration with the lack of knowledge with doctors of this still.
And even getting a clear diagnosis,
Right.
because a diagnosis is critical, right? Because then you can know how to, you're like, oh, that's what mom has.
Right, yeah.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
Interesting. Circle back to that. So even in the medical profession, there isn't
They're
like
very
unanimity.
Behind, no,
Okay.
yeah, there's very behind. They're very behind in all forms of dementia. So there's different types of dementia.
Okay. I'm already learning something from you this week. I thought I knew a little bit about Alzheimer's, but maybe you could explain more. What is Alzheimer's disease, and how does it typically progress, and how is that different from memory loss
Sure.
and dementia?
Right. So I did bring my little handy chart here, and for those of you who are seeing online here on the video, dementia is an umbrella term. So that is actually the symptoms. So that is your memory loss, that is your confusion, lack of being able to do things like paying the bills, doing cooking, household chores. You start having behavior changes. You're not able to reason anymore. Somebody's trying to reason with you, and it's just, you can just see it's not working with them. They're getting lost. They're losing things. Just there's a lot of
So that's the umbrella term.
Umbrella term.
Dementia,
So
okay.
dementia. So then the leading cause of dementia for 50 to 60% of people is Alzheimer's.
Okay.
But not all dementia is Alzheimer's.
Okay.
So that's what I learned. I thought everything was Alzheimer's, but it's not.
Okay.
So Alzheimer's itself is the plaque growing, the amyloid plaque growing in your brain over your brain cells. And so that accumulation causes the cognitive decline and
So there's
memory
actually a
loss.
physiological explanation for Alzheimer's.
Right.
Something is happening.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the next one that's the most second popular is vascular dementia. And so this is what they guessed my mom probably has, because her brain was clear of plaque when they did the brain scan.
Okay.
And so that is caused by a lifetime, or not a lifetime, but a good portion of your life of struggling with blood pressure, diabetes, and so they could have many strokes, and then also just the blood vessels kind of deteriorate in your brain. So it's almost brain damage. And so then those neurons die. So as those neurons die, more neurons die, more neurons die.
So it maybe becomes more obvious the older we get.
Right. And
Okay.
usually back in the day, they would call that the hardening of the veins.
Okay.
So that was a popular term back then.
Okay.
Okay. So then the next one is Lewy bodies, and that's a protein that develops in your brain, but that's within your brain cells, not on your brain cells, like Alzheimer's. And a lot of time Lewy bodies is, synonymous with Parkinson's.
Okay.
So,
I've known a few people who've had that, and that's really hard, really
Right.
progressive, or would you say regressive, or?
It's one of the hardest ones and probably the fastest ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then there's front temporal lobal dementia, and that is just like a genetic disorder that usually happens, and it's usually for those 60 and younger, and that's when your front area of your brain gets damaged or diseased or whatever it is doing.
But that exhibits.
Behavior and personality changes. So a lot of people have heard of Bruce Willis in the news, and that's what he has.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
So that might not be memory loss,
it might not be,
and
at
it might
first.
happen when the individual is under 60.
Right.
Where some of these others, do you see typically a little bit older than 60, or
Yes,
not necessarily?
no, but Alzheimer's now is growing even amongst the younger population. So the youngest one recorded now is 25.
Oh.
So it can be early onset or late onset, and so early onset, that was just a rare thing and is genetic of that one, but it can happen in your 40s. I've seen residents in memory care in their 50s in memory care with Alzheimer's.
Wow.
Yeah.
Marcy, what would you say are some of the biggest misconceptions about Alzheimer's?
I would say the biggest misconception is that everything is Alzheimer's.
Sure.
So that's the one, and that I even thought that the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Another one is that it's just normal aging. So some people say, well, you're getting older. But there's a difference between once in a while losing your keys and misplacing things and forgetting things versus something being more consistent. Right. And also, if you're starting to see people with their bills piled up with notes laying around their house, and then, there might be something else going on.
What I saw in my mom, because she had dementia, she was a home ec teacher, so she loved to cook and could multitask in the kitchen, and she was starting to not be able to do simple things. Right. Even microwaving. Yeah. It became a real challenge. Right. And sometimes we'd see different items in the oven with the oven on. Right. And I think that was especially because that was her strong area of cooking. Yeah. And she was fast at it. Right. All of a sudden, and Marcy, she didn't, like maybe you see in your mom, she didn't even recognize it. It wasn't like, oh, I didn't mean to do that.
Yeah, because one of the first things to go is self-awareness. So a person is not going to say, hey, I think I have some form of dementia here. I need to go get checked.
So they're not aware.
They're not aware. Most are not aware.
But family is.
Family is. And then trying to convince them that there is, that's really hard.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, another one is misconception, though, is that only older people get it, like I said. And then also people with Alzheimer's can't enjoy life. So some people think that's a death sentence, but there is hope. There's joy still amongst that journey. And also there are some drugs now coming out that can help keep it at bay longer. Yeah.
Can help address some of the symptoms.
Right.
And maybe a person can live longer with it.
Right.
Okay. Is that kind of new? They're coming out with newer drugs?
They are always coming out with newer things, yeah.
Because it does seem like this topic has got the attention of the pharmaceutical companies and researchers, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because there's so many who are being diagnosed with it. I was going to word this next question using the word Alzheimer's, but you've already taught me something, so many things. So let's just use the umbrella of dementia. Not only does that affect the individual, but it affects the whole family system. What are some of the ways that you have seen it impact the family? And because I've heard you talk about that just at a personal level. Oh yeah, it's very hard, right?
Oh yeah, it turns your world upside down throughout your family. So family members often take on caregiving roles. Then dynamics change. Like me being the daughter, I'm becoming more like the mom. Right. And then when that first happens, you're still trying to respect your mom as your mom. But then you got to realize safety is first, and then there's the guilt and grief that go with it. But then it becomes, emotionally and physically exhausting for those who take on the caregiving, especially if you try to keep them at home. And then a financial strain, because Medicare and Medicaid do not cover dementia, Alzheimer's until you are in your late stages and you can push the hospice button. So.
Okay, let's back up. You said some really powerful things. I want to come to Medicare not covering, but before that you mentioned guilt and grief.
Right.
Unpack those.
Well, guilt because you have to make some hard choices for your loved one, and it could be simple things of taking their keys away, that they can't drive anymore, all the way to having to put them in a facility because they're just too much work for you. And so with me personally, it was a lot of work because my mom, we try to keep her at my house, but in the stage that she was at, because in earlier stages and that self-awareness, and you can't reason with them, she was trying to escape from us. She thought we were kidnapping her.
That had to tear you up.
Yeah.
Because you're providing care and safety.
Yes.
And she's pushing back and maybe afraid of you.
Right. And part of her, she wanted her freedom still, and she didn't understand. So she thought I was trying to control her and just trying to help her. And then her behavior, she would cuss at me. It's like, whoa. And so it was just very hard, and she was really picking on Micah at that time of just different things. And so I just started seeing my family slowly go into the other rooms, and it was just me and my mom, and I realized I had to choose my family over my mom. So we put her in a facility in 2020 during COVID. So talk about guilt and grief. You're grieving the loss of your mom. You're grieving for her, for the loss of her freedom of how she wanted to be. And so, and then you just feel like a horrible daughter. And so just working through that.
And that stays with you.
Yeah, it
right?
does.
It's not like, oh, I have this bad feeling and then it goes away.
Right.
You kind of live with the guilt.
Yes, yeah.
And the grief.
And the grief, guilt and grief. Yeah.
Wow. Wow, that's so hard. And so, listener, you're watching, maybe this is stirring something in you. Maybe you're looking, well, let's just be honest, maybe you're looking at a family member and wondering. And maybe this is now starting to help you click on maybe something's going on with mom or dad or your wife or your husband. Or maybe you already know that and you've been in this cycle of guilt and grief. You probably felt isolated. So we have a support group. And this group that you lead, Marcy, I think has been I know it's been very helpful. I've talked to people.
Yeah.
Can you describe what takes place? Some people are like, I don't need a group. And so maybe speak to the person who's thinking they don't need it, but actually it would be very helpful.
Right. So our group, and I would like to say, our group has been around since February 2022. Can you believe that?
I didn't know it was that long.
Yeah.
Way to go. Every month.
Yeah. So it started out with, my need, and I went up to Ed, and I'm like, hey, with you working with this population, have you ever thought of having a support group? And they're like, great idea. And
That's so Ed. Great idea.
Right.
You run with it.
Yeah. So, but he actually brought in Mark Barr at the time. And,
okay.
And so then he got it launched, and then both me and him went through the Alzheimer's Association training to become a group facilitator, support group facilitator, and so we know all the general information, and then they give us access to different training videos, training flyers, stuff like that. So, but I think our group has succeeded. Because a lot of groups don't succeed. Because once the people, their loved ones pass, then they stop coming to group.
But not so with this group at different times, right?
True. I mean, we've gone through a lot of rotations already. There's a couple that stay in, because
to help others.
To help others, right. But then we keep getting new people because we were, and at that time when we started, we were the only one on the Illinois side.
Okay.
So we're actually with the Iowa chapter of Alzheimer's Association, and so anymore with the spread of the word spreading about our group, even doctors recommend us.
Excellent.
So to come to support, but with it is encouragement, is a time to just finally share all these odd things that your loved one's doing. It's a time to come and just release your frustration of what it takes to take care of somebody with dementia, and then we're able to rally around them. We're able to say, yes, that's what my loved one did. This is not
so
unusual.
They feel affirmed, like, affirmed, yes.
And so, if that person keeps following you around the house all the time, or you let them still do the dishwasher, but they're putting everything in the wrong cupboards, and different frustrations with that. So they're able to share that. So then that helps them kind of unload, and then we're able to encourage. And then also we're able to bring in different people from the community that can help them, like with placement.
Give me an example of that.
So Live Well is an agency that isn't necessarily working for a specific assisted living or memory care place, but they would come and they kind of see what's going on and what would be the best place for them once you're thinking of a best place for them. Or a home care, which home care might work for you, or even active day if you want to.
So you actually bring some of those representatives in.
Right.
Which helps to resource people.
Right, yeah. And we were able to do even a virtual reality. Somebody brought that in from Senior Star, and we were able to look through that of what it would be like waking up with dementia. So the guy goes up to the medicine cabinet, and he's going to brush his teeth, but he ends up getting like, muscle cream instead. And he's like, this toothpaste must be bad. And then you can see all his mail in the bathtub and, different things like that. So a lot of people were really touched by going through that. Yeah.
Because I remember when my mom was first diagnosed that I have 4 sisters and they're just phenomenal. My dad was phenomenal. But I remember all of us at the beginning just being frustrated, like, Mom, we already told you that.
Oh, yeah.
And then with time, we stopped doing that.
Right.
Because we're like, she can't help it.
Yeah.
But the mom we knew was very on top of things. She was strong. And
yeah, that's really hard.
okay, so that's fascinating that you bring in some outside resources. Is the group kind of free form, or do you like watch a video, or do you pick a topic and then go from that, or do you just follow as the Lord leads depending on who's there?
Yeah. I find that we're not very much knowledge driven as much as emotional support.
Okay.
So we will actually go around the room and share where we are, because it's a whole month again. Okay, so
And there's new people.
Right, and there's new people. There was 2 new people this past Sunday. So one from Muscatine. So
wow.
We just kind of go around and just share our updates, of what it's like. Sometimes it's sad. Sometimes they're just the same. So we just kind of we really need that time of going around the room. And some of the things that I wrote them down here. Our main chance of encouragement through the group is if you've met one person with dementia, you've met one person with dementia, because every person's brain is dying differently. Our brain is so complex. So you can't really try to compare.
If you've met one, people. You've met one.
Right.
So you can't really extrapolate.
Right.
And say, well, everybody's different. Everybody's different.
Right.
Interesting.
Another thing is they're not giving you a hard time. They're having a hard time.
Oh, Marcy, this is all rich. That would apply even to other things, right?
Right.
Somebody with an addiction or another diagnosis. But because we can think, why are they being so mean to me? And that point is, no, they're struggling. They're in a really hard spot, and they might lash out at you, or your mom with Micah, when she was at your house.
Right, yeah. Another one is safety first. So when that person is deciding if they should take the keys away or if they should be placed somewhere, we always say safety first. Safety first is above everything, because we want them to be safe. We don't want them to wander out into the streets. We don't want them to be driving around and get into a car accident and ruin somebody else's life.
Because we hear sad stories like that.
Right.
Where somebody's out walking, or a loved one's found.
Or your missing persons.
Missing person network. Some of them do have dementia, and they go out for a walk, and now they forget where they are and don't know how to get back.
Right.
Or they're in a car, which is, I remember a report where somebody was found in Indiana, and they're from the Quad Cities and didn't even know how they got there.
Yeah, another one is don't try to reason. We say that at the very beginning. Don't try to reason, like you just said with your mom. You try to, well, don't you know? And and here we're going to write this down, and that's all gone. Reasoning is gone. So
we saw that at a very very tender moment. My nephew died, so being my mom's grandson at 32, and my mom was struggling with dementia, but it was early stages. And so when she was told that Alex died, she's like, oh no, that's sad. But that was a muted response compared to how she would have been had she not had dementia, right?
Yeah.
But then, Marcy, sadly, like 10 minutes later, she'd see the rest of us crying, and she'd like, what happened? And then my dad would have to tell her again. And then we'd see her, experience some grief again. Yeah. And then she'd forget. And then my sister would have to tell her, Mom, Alex is gone. Yeah. What happened? That was hard, especially for my dad. Yeah. Because he was grieving and was trying to help his wife. Right. It was really hard.
That's tough. Like, even with my dad dying, my mom, after a while, didn't think my dad was dead. So us saying it over, she's like, well, how come I wasn't invited to the funeral? Like, she was even hurt and everything. So after a while, you just learn to kind of go with what they say.
So the earlier we can stop reasoning, the better.
Right.
because it's our nature to go to reasoning.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes. Yep. Another one is try to change topic or walk away when they're becoming very frustrating, especially when you have this person in your home. It's like you can't escape. And then there's some that like do shadow you, like they follow you around the house, or they keep asking the same thing over and over and over, and it's very frustrating. So you need time to just back away. A lot of times, you can just walk outside and do something and then come back, and then it's like a restart for them, So
Something as simple as that.
Yeah.
Change the environment, the location, and then boom. And then they may have forgotten whatever they were maybe anxious about 10 minutes earlier.
Or mad about, yeah.
And now Jeopardy's on, or
Right.
Wheel of Fortune, something that, that brings them back.
Right.
Right, okay.
Yeah. And then the last one, always have your plan B ready. Because you might say, oh, well, we're good right here, but it progresses. So always have your plan B. Like if you do have them in your home, where's the line of what it would be, if you wanted to put them in a facility, or at least check out places or
Ahead of time,
just so you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you look at 5 different places in your mind, you might be like, 3 of these probably aren't going to work, but these 2 might work.
Right.
Even that is helpful.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because then when you need it, you've narrowed it down to 2.
Right. Yep.
Okay. Wow, a lot to think about. How does the group, well, let me word it this way. Can you share a story about how the group has made a difference in someone's life?
We have a lady that comes, and it's her sister that has it, and of course it's a hard one because the sister is 53, and she has 2 boys, teenage boys, and a husband that's kind of been in denial, and so she's been coming every month, and I don't think she could do it without us. So we've been able to kind of investigate, come up with things. She'll come back next month and say that didn't work, and we're like, what? That didn't work? Well, how about this? And so
does the whole group rally around her then?
Yes.
Which gives them a sense of purpose too.
Right.
Like these are some things maybe that they've learned. Maybe their loved one is a little further along in the disease process.
Right.
Okay.
And then we had a guy that it was his wife, and he actually had to quit his job to be a caregiver. And a lot of people in our nation have to do that because of Medicare and Medicaid not covering it. And so they have to, he actually ended up he was able to take early retirement and take care of his wife. And so since then she's passed. But it was...
Says a lot about him, but what a challenge.
Right.
Like some people couldn't do that.
Yes.
They couldn't take early retirement
right.
and now their income. I meant to come back to that, Marcy. You had mentioned about Medicare and Medicaid. My guess is most people don't know that. Do you have to get to a certain level before they cover it?
You have to get... so Medicaid knows that any form of dementia is terminal. So they can, if it's in mid-stage, they could probably come in and do an evaluation, and you could end up being on hospice that way. But then that would be still minimal care in your home. But they would be with you all the way until the end. So basically, it's comfort care at that time. You're not trying to...
That Medicaid does cover?
Yeah.
Okay.
Medicare covers.
Medicare covers.
Yeah, hospice. And so it just comes to, like, my mom is in the facility, but she's on hospice now because we're not going to try to take her to the ER anymore and try to do all these preventative things.
That's one of the things you agree to with hospice.
Yeah. So it's more comfort care. Although she still takes her blood pressure meds and her diabetic meds and stuff like that. So, yeah. That's my new thing of learning of hospice, of what they are and what they are not. So, yeah.
Yeah, that could be another podcast episode,
oh, yeah,
right?
Right.
Because I think there's a lot of misunderstandings about hospice.
Right.
For sure. What are some of the hardest parts of caring for a loved one with dementia? You've already mentioned some, but
Guilt and grief.
okay, so we keep coming back to that. So
What helped is a site called agingcare.com, and this particular lady, and she's on there all the time, and she helps everybody in their postings of sharing on that site. But she's really good, and she helped me at the beginning by saying guilt is different than grief, because guilt is that you did something wrong and you've done nothing wrong.
wow.
But you are actually grieving. So once I was able to separate
them.
that really helps me
A lot.
Yeah.
Give the website again.
Agingcare.com.
So this woman will actually interact with you? Or
You can be on there as much, and there's ends up being a whole chat on there, a community chat.
So even if you're not chatting,
Alvadeer is her
you're
name.
watching other people chat and you're learning from it.
Right, whatever
Or
questions.
you can ask your own question.
Right. Yep. So,
do you ever have someone come to the group, Marcy, who is in the early stages of dementia herself or himself, and the loved one is also there?
yes, it's hard because then they're seeing and hearing, because we still go around the table.
Yeah.
And we do that. We go ahead and do that because they need to know what's coming up. And, like we said, if you met one person, you've met one person. But
Right.
it's not necessarily going to be the same story. But they know how it's going to be hard on the loved one. So our group follows another Facebook page called Memory People. And that was actually started by somebody who had dementia. And they knew that their loved ones were going to have a hard time. So they actually purposely started that. And
It says a lot about that person.
Yeah, and he'll still say "Good morning, MP," like "Good morning, Memory People." So that person with dementia is still seeing all of that. So
Give that website again.
Memory People on Facebook.
So just if you're on Facebook, search for Memory People.
Memory People. Yeah,
Okay.
That's what they called it.
You like resourcing people, don't you?
Yeah, I
Because you
do.
do it in children's ministry too.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I think that's really helpful because people feel alone, and then if you just do your own Google search, you're like, hey, is this legit? You don't really know.
Right. Yeah.
And I enjoy when people ask me too. They're like, hey, can you check this out? Is it legit? Is it doctrinally sound?
Right.
If we're able to help people, I think that takes some confusion away, and then they can get to the meat of it.
Mm-hmm.
Marcy, what would you say, how would you say a caregiver's faith in Christ is helpful in this journey?
Well, because that there is hope. God gives us hope. So in a hopeless situation. And he also brings joy and peace and comfort during a journey that nobody really wants to go on.
Yeah.
And even with my mom being a Christian, it's like she has joy right now. She's at a good place. So she did the whole struggle and fight and hiding in rooms and going to take on the world attitude to God's just really blessed us with where she's at with she's known as one of the sweetest ladies there now. And she still sings away all the hymns when they have a hymn sing. And she, I feel like she still has the fruits of the Spirit because she has the Spirit of God
beautiful.
in her. And so she still has the Spirit of joy.
And I see that in you too when you talk about your mom.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was maybe a costume party. I saw you had a picture of your mom, some event there. She's at Senior Star, right?
No, she's at Quartet.
That's okay.
Yeah, Quartet.
But it was some event, and you were talking about it. And you had a big smile on your face because she was smiling.
Yeah.
So, caregiver, there is joy in the journey as well. With the key is a relationship with Christ. This is too big for you to handle on your own. You need to submit and surrender to Christ, and for forgiveness of sins, and also for His strength and His power and His peace, and then take advantage of a group of people who can help you with this journey. Marcy, if you could speak directly to a caregiver listening or watching right now, what would you say to them?
I would say you don't have to do it alone. Come to our group, come to some support group, and just let us rally around you. Let us show that we tell you that you're okay. You don't have to feel guilty of getting mad and losing your temper. We've all been there. And that there's a lot of resources that we would have for them. So.
Okay, give, if you can, I don't mean to put you on the spot, but you seem to have those websites on pretty easily. Could you give those websites again in that one Facebook page?
Sure. So Facebook is Memory People, and then agingcare.com. Alzheimer's Association also has a site. They also have an Alzheimer's hotline number. I don't have that memorized, but actually, I don't know if it's on here. Nope, it's not. It's not on my fact sheet. But it is, you can just Google Alzheimer's hotline and it'll pop up.
So you could talk to somebody?
Yes, you could actually talk to somebody.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very helpful.
Yeah.
Give the dates and time of the group again.
It is the last Sunday of every month from 2 to 4 in the conference room. And also, we are the only group that also provides care that you can bring your loved one if you don't feel that they're able to stay at home by themselves. Suk watches them. So we do have one person that comes regularly.
It's so beautiful.
So then he gets to chat with Mr. Walt every time. So
It's what a sweet picture of you and Suk ministering together.
Yeah.
And providing that support is huge. I see this fact sheet in front of you. We have some time. Do you want to just hit some of those? Because it's stunning.
Okay, yeah. So this is 2025, Alzheimer's disease facts and figures. So over 7 million Americans are living with Alzheimer's. And like I told you, that is just Alzheimer's. That does not include all other forms of dementia. And those are the only ones who have been formally diagnosed. So also, fun fact, you might not know that you have Alzheimer's until you die and they do a biopsy, because sometimes plaque does not show right on the screen. So,
or the person might not have got the test.
Right.
Okay.
Yep. 1 in 3 older adults dies with Alzheimer's or another dementia. And how they do die is usually they catch, their immune system lowers so much that they usually catch like pneumonia. Or their body just starts shutting down. They no longer want to drink or eat.
Oh.
And so, but they say it's the most restful death because they kind of just go to sleep.
Okay.
It kills more than breast cancer and prostate cancer combined.
Whoa.
Yeah. Between 2000 and 2022, deaths from heart disease have decreased 2.1%. However, while deaths from Alzheimer's disease have increased 142%.
I can't even get my heads on that.
Yeah. In 2025, Alzheimer's and other dementia will cost the nation $384 billion, and it's going up. You know why? Baby boomers.
Yep, my generation.
Right.
Yeah.
And by 2050, these costs could rise to nearly $1 trillion. And mind you, Medicare doesn't pay for part of that. I mean, so a person is already paying out of pocket, for the beginnings of dementia and Alzheimer's. So that is coming out of, an individual's pocket, and they might have to quit their job and all of that. So, and the lifetime risk for Alzheimer's at age 45 is 1 in 5 for women and 1 in 10 for men.
So more women develop it.
We watched a video. It's with Teepa Snow. Teepa Snow is another person you could write down on if you go on any YouTube video. She goes through what is dementia. And so you could go to YouTube, Teepa Snow, what is dementia. It's a 30-minute snap of
TIPA.
TEEPA.
Okay, Teepa.
Teepa
Okay.
Snow. And she will have the audience stand up and say, okay, at this age, some of you stand up, that would have dementia. And let's just say that 45, and so they're like, you think we can handle that population? And everybody, yeah, we could handle if they all got dementia. And so she goes, all right, now we're looking at 85, and half of the people have to stand up. So once people are 85 and older, 1 in 2 have some form of dementia.
Mind-boggling.
Because we're living longer. So that's part of it as well. Nearly 12 million Americans provide unpaid care for people with Alzheimer's or other dementias. So there you go. These caregivers provided more than 19 billion hours, valued at nearly $413 billion of people's caregiving at home.
And most of those sweet people are doing it and nobody knows.
Right.
And their loved one isn't thanking them.
No.
And they're in a battle.
Yeah.
And they're grieving.
Right.
And they're filled with guilt.
And they feel like they can't leave them. So they feel like they can't go anywhere.
So they're stuck.
Right.
They're tired all the time.
40% of caregivers die before the person they're caring for.
Oh, rewind that.
Yeah, 40% of caregivers die before the person they're caring for.
Okay, caregiver, if you're caring for a loved one, bless you. Way to go, but you can't do it by yourself. We have a support group here. Marcy's available too by, what's your email address?
Marcy@edgewoodbaptist.net.
Yeah, so if you have a question, send an email to Marcy. She can send you links and help you with that. Our group meets the last Sunday afternoon, 2 to 4, in the conference room at Edgewood Baptist Church. We're right on 38th Street in Rock Island. Marcy, thank you so much for coming.
Welcome.
This was very helpful. I learned a lot, and I trust you have as well. Thank you for joining us for this episode of our 4G podcast. Until next time.